He's the most perverted serial killer. Every dead person is his former friend. The police named him Viper. It's not because he's killing bikini girls, but because he understands the art of human nature. When he locks on the target, we'll try their best to observe each other's preferences. After you find out everything, go forward and make friends with each other. But if the other party likes the field he doesn't understand, then he will go home immediately to make up for his knowledge. After you become an expert, start a conversation with each other. And the weirdest thing is that after he was caught, decades in prison, not only life is very good, he also earned 15 million by relying on his life experience. Pay for media interviews. Pay for taking pictures. Someone even wanted to make a movie about his crime. Pay him royalties. In the Old West, the most popular movement is called hippie culture. Simply put, looking for excitement. More and more young people are beginning to resist tradition. Dare to travel around the world with only $100. Some go to Tibet. Some go to no man's land. In short, where less people go. No one thought that they would be able to go home alive. This girl was targeted as soon as she arrived in Thailand. When he was struggling with the hotel room being too expensive, the person on the side told him, as long as you don't mind, we can share a room. That would be much cheaper. The girl agreed without thinking. But he doesn't know that the other party is gaining trust. They wandered the streets together. Take girls at night. Met a punk named Jack. And Jack heard that the girl was looking for excitement. So take her to see Glasses immediately. Glasses are considerate. Afraid of the girl catching a cold. Secretly put a pill in his juice. After the girl drank it, she realized it was wrong. But it's too late to leave. Weak legs and shouting to others for help. But the girl is light. All of that era. Object of hatred of the poor. So in the public eye, he was stuffed into the car. Girl went limp. And the eldest brother drugged him. He drove right to the beach. Then put the girl in a bikini. We're gonna throw him into the ocean. The girl will go to her grave not knowing. If the girl had not said a wrong word, Big Brother wouldn't want her dead. It turns out that last night, the girl followed Jack to the bar for excitement. But as soon as it arrived, Jack's big brother started talking to her. He was just after the money in her purse. I thought I'd knock her out, then take the money and walk away. I didn't expect a girl to talk. Said he was going to the temple tomorrow. Let's have a good night's indulgence. That's what made Big Brother want to kill. Because in the eyes of Big Brother, faithless people are not worthy of life. And the Big Brother's religion is money. So after you knock the girl out, the first thing is to get the money. Definitely the best of the best. This guy's name is Glasses. On the surface, he was a gem dealer. Secretly, he's a super psycho soul killer. The favorite way to do it is to drug it. Then they raise each other in their own home. Mix medicine with food every day. And hold the food like a good friend. Pretend to care. And then one day he gets bored. He's gonna kill them in some pretty brutal way. Because he has no nationality. So every time you kill someone, they leave each other's passports. Take out their pictures and replace them with yours. Then he forged a fake seal and put it on top. He'll have a new identity. Not only that, he would travel around with his passport. Make the cops think these guys are still alive. And today he's in Hong Kong, China. This is the guy he's been eyeing for days. This guy comes to the jewelry market every day. But they just don't buy. His glasses showed that he was short of money. And there was an act at once. Textbook fishing. He learned that the young man was visiting from Holland. I want to buy a diamond ring for my girlfriend. Glasses, hey, listen to. Tell the boss to bring out the diamond ring right away. And then take a close look. And then he told him, if you really want it, I can give you a cut. Cut it down to half price. But the guy still thinks it's too expensive. Glasses said, I was a jeweler. There are ways to get a diamond ring at a low price. It's not easy watching you, either. You can call me on my business card if you want. The boy is enchanted. The next day he brought his girlfriend over to look for Glasses. And the Glasses sold them a diamond ring. Said he was going back to Thailand the next day. And promised to just go to Thailand. He can be reached at any time. Not only food and shelter but also take them to the mountains. The couple had come to see the world. Does it make any difference where we go? So a week later they came to Thailand. Just wants to eat and drink. And he treats his friends with drugs. At first friends didn't think much of it. I don't just travel around with Glasses. Still living in someone else's house. They just don't know it. Everything in this room, it's all from each of the victims. Glasses are kind. He knew his friend was short of money. So he got people to smuggle diamonds for him. Friends don't want to do it. I said no because I couldn't afford more. He did not know that the Glasses had already gone through his wallet. And the last 2 years, he killed everyone who ever fooled him. In the evening, Glasses invited friends and neighbors to dinner. 10 minutes later, the girl threw up. They didn't know they were drugged by the Glasses. I thought I'd take a couple of days off. And Glasses pretended to care about her. They were given medication at regular intervals every day. Gradually their bodies are hollowed out. From time to time, there are symptoms of convulsions. The girl sensed that something was wrong. Want to find Glasses' girlfriend Xiao Mei to ask the situation. But Amy said nothing. He just got up and walked out the door. 2 months later, a Dutch diplomat. About the missing Dutch couple. He first went to the immigration bureau to check the entry form. Then he ran to the post office. Turns out the couple hasn't picked up any letters since they got here. He knew something could happen. So I asked my friends in other departments, asking about a recent death. My friend said 2 months ago, police in Bangkok found 2 charred bodies, a man and a woman. But the identity is unknown. Backpackers go missing all the time. So the police took the easy way out. Just a couple of random identifications and the case is closed. He immediately ran to the morgue to look for the body. When the white cloth is lifted, he felt sick at the sight of the burnt body. The ME said the woman was strangled. The men had blunt force trauma to the head. And there's a lot of dust in their lungs, which means these two were alive when they were burned. He knew it had to be the couple who were the victims. The clothes at the time said they were made in Holland. This is no coincidence. He asked the police in Bangkok for help, but they say we've been looking into it. There just aren't enough of them. You can have it if you want. It will also give you the most support in spirit. Diplomat Ada had never been so speechless. Went home and went through the dead man's things over and over again. Finally found the key information in the diary. A French jeweler and an English woman named Rena. The next day he went to the British embassy. And the diplomat said, this Rena I know. She came in for help 2 months ago. She thought her neighbor might be a murderer. I told her to go to the police. But then I heard nothing. That night she followed the address to find Rena's home. Fortunately, the woman is still alive. First he took the couple home for protection. And then through Rena's description, confirmed that the killer was Glasses. Ada wants to call the police. But Lena strongly opposed however. Then came the story of a helpless, miserable young man. For a long time, in order to gain muscle, he has to double his medicine every day. But after a while, it's not just physical exhaustion. He has also lost a large circle around his waist. There is one not careful. A little monkey came to steal some medicine. The guy found out and spilled the pills. The boy didn't think much of it. But 3 hours later the little monkey was dead. He came to realize, all of my symptoms are probably due to the medication. And whoever put him on it, it's a psychopathic serial killer named Glasses. He first approached the guy as a friend. Wait for 2 people to mix and then secretly drug the guy. He doesn't look very smart when he sees him. So I lied to him about sudden vomiting being normal. Said the local hospital was unreliable. So he took the boy home. The boy thought the glasses were about him. But the purpose of glasses? Just to get a free babysitter. The boy looked at the monkey's body and finally figured it.
Par contre, si tu pouvais donner un petit coup de main à Monique de temps en temps. Ouais, mais ce que tu veux, tu me le dis. Ah, pousse-toi bien. Merci.
All out. He told Glasses he didn't want to take his medicine. On the pretext of going home to see his parents. Tell Glasses to give him back his passport. Glasses, hey, listen to. I can't believe I gave him his
That has expired. Because you were too sick to renew it. And they will not let you travel without it. But don't worry. My friends at the French embassy owe me a few favors.
Only the picture has been replaced with Glasses. The boy knew it was the Glasses. I had to surrender my passport. But 2 days later, when he took the Glasses to the jewelry store, get out of the car and call the police. Glasses first advised him not to move. Then he got off to meet the owner of the jewelry store. Just when the boy was wondering, a police car pulled up on the side of the road. And out came a colonel. He is the boss's father. The soon-to-be father-in-law of Glasses. The guy was. No money, no identity. Can't even call the police now. Then the Glasses drove away. Let him take a cab home. From this moment on, he sees people being dragged away every once in a while. Who knows where they've been taken. Soon it was Christmas. Glasses took his girlfriend out for a trip. He's not worried about the guy running. Because he has no money and no status. I'm afraid to go to the police. The only people who can help him are neighbors who don't know. So, he made a point of giving gifts to his neighbors in front of the young man. Then he left. Sure enough, the neighbors greeted him. But he left without looking back. The next day, the
Comment je sais que je peux te faire confiance, Andy? Tu l'aides à vendre ses bijoux, tu prends ses cadeaux, tu prends son argent? Hein?
neighbor came to see him again. The neighbor patiently explained. The guy bought it. He took out all the newspapers and showed them. Lena didn't believe it at first. But it turns out he saw many of the victims. He's the guy who buys diamonds for junk. He encouraged the boy to run away. More than money was offered. We also found a copy of the victim's passport. I changed it to my own identity. The boy is safe. But the danger shifted to Rena. As soon as the glasses noticed the boy's gone. That's got to be her. She appealed to every embassy. But the only one who would help her. Just this Dutch diplomat named Ada. Lena said, I'm only worried about two things right now. One is the guy said he'd call me when he got home. But 2 months passed without a word. If he's still alive. 2 is the guy said everything is true. The more you think, the higher you go. So immediately ran to the exit and entry bureau to confirm. The boy did fly away. Ada wants to tell Lena the good news. But Lena wasn't home. I went to the post office to check my mail. There's news from the boy. He returned the money to Lena. Said he was in a bad mood recently. That's why I'm writing now. However, when Lena reads the letter, the glasses appeared behind him. Killer neighbor is taking her home. She didn't call for help from anyone around her. I pretended to be cool and went with him. The husband knew his wife was in danger and rushed to her rescue. But fortunately, the glasses knew that Lena let the boy go. But it didn't give him a hard time. He took a lot of money out of the box. Thanks to the client, Lena sent him to buy the diamonds. and Lena glanced at the box. Turns out there's a lot of passports in addition to money. She knew that those passports must have been killed by Glasses. Just like the clients she introduced to Glasses. A deep sense of guilt welled up. She ran to Ada's house, turned over all the evidence she had. Then he drew a detailed map of the Glasses home. Ada immediately went to the police. Until the next afternoon, to convince the police to make an arrest. And Glasses didn't freak out when he saw the cops. He told Amy to wear valuable jewelry. Bring as much as you can. Then bring your own gold watch. Wait quietly for the police to come. As soon as I got to the jail, he immediately put the money in a conspicuous position. Then he took off his gold watch and showed it to the policeman nearby. You have to hint crazily before you leave. The other guy knows better than he does. I'm sure he'll be out soon. Less than 2 hours. Ada heard they were gonna let him go. For one thing, the passport is too realistic. On the other hand, the Glasses are ready. He speculated that Rena would most likely go to the police. So he took all the evidence from the safe. It was transferred to someone else. The woman who owns a jewelry store. He knows the other person is longing for love. So he put the engagement ring on her finger. And the money and the diamonds. And the passports of all the victims. It's all in her custody. Ada puts pressure on the sheriff. Make sure he's locked up for 48 hours first. Give him time to add his evidence. But on the other side, the woman who knew about the Glasses, begging his father, a colonel, for help. But father would not agree with anything. They say money makes the world go round. Although the sheriff apparently agreed to hold him. But he secretly had his men release him. No one can catch him now. After out of prison. Glasses went straight to the owner's home for dinner. Although the colonel's father-in-law didn't like him. But it doesn't matter anymore. And one of the clause has been. You can't see it, I can't. Slip it off. I'll fix it. I want it to be perfect. He took back the ring he had given to his wife. In the name of the bathroom. He took all his money and diamonds when he left. And the owner's passport. He now has the status of a fugitive. So the proprietress and his colonel father are no longer of use. Now he put the ring on Amy's finger. First they came to small neighboring countries.
Here comes the future.
Jack went back to the house. I stole a few things. As soon as he meets the Glasses. Here's the awkward thing. Jack took out a marriage license. The groom is Glasses. The bride is someone else. The Glasses were very unhappy. Because this is the worst thing he's ever done. Look back on a past. After marriage, Glasses found themselves incapable. In order not to let his wife think less of him. It took a whole month to prepare. He robbed a jewelry store in India. Money is the weapon he uses to regain his dignity. But there was no time to prove it to his wife. The police came up behind him. He got 7 years for the theft. He just finished 2 years in prison. He heard that his wife had given birth to a daughter. He was homesick. I pretended to have an appendicitis. Tricked the doctor into operating on him. And he stole the pills from the infirmary. He charmed the guards and returned home after 3 days. But as soon as I got back, I found out the cops were already here. He could have escaped from India. As a result, the family car was parked too long. After 30 kilometers, he broke down. He was taken back by the police. But this time was different. His wife divorced him as soon as he went to prison. I'm gonna marry an honest man. He doesn't know who the receiver is. All he knows is that he grew up. Because he's a hybrid. Being discriminated against by all white people. This is when the seeds of sign begin to take root. Countless teenage girls have died at his hands. Until today, he has become a treacherous serpent. Amy talked him out of it. Thinking about having a normal life. And partner Jack has been trying to persuade him to get rid of May. He said he found out that Amy kept a diary. Who knows if it's a journal or evidence? Glasses immediately finds small beauty confrontation. But who knows the small beauty is the main guest. Asked him why he didn't say he'd been married before. It turns out that Jack secretly told Amy about it. This is good. On the one hand, a girlfriend ready to blow the whistle. On the one hand, a longtime brother who freely divulges his privacy. Who to choose? Picked a brother, of course. Left Amy here to go with Jack. But before long he stopped. He was going to throw Jack away. Glasses drove off alone. He goes home and explains to Amy the reason he never talked about his ex-wife. When his ex-wife gave evidence to the police, he wants to know when he gets out. Only to find out that his ex-wife had died of a serious illness. The two finally bury the hatchet. And the Glasses make a statement. Take May back to France to see her mother. But what the Glasses told May was a lie. His ex-wife is still alive. And his main reason for coming to France is for the mother to help him find his biological daughter. He's always there when he kills a girl. And then the next day, replace the girl's passport with her own photo. Take out all their money. One of the new guys on the team got scared. He said, how could you kill someone?
He's killed. No one is dead. What, do you think Daniel is an idiot? I have done this with him many, many times and never has anybody died. Never. He is an expert. You understand? What are you? Some bum lucky enough to be given a chance by him? He gives you a home and all you do is question him?
Then May went to call her mother back. Because word of a global manhunt had reached home. She reassured her mother that everything would be alright. But even what happens next, even she doesn't know. And it gets worse. That guy was not looking. Stole all their passports and money. By the time Amy finds out, it's too late. Okay. When she got home, she told her glasses the truth. And the glasses knew it was gone. The first order of business was to sell her diamond ring. The most pierced heart is the diamond ring is clearly the glasses gave her. But the glasses get the diamond ring. Unexpectedly subconsciously check the authenticity of the diamond ring. The man didn't trust himself at all. She began to rant about glasses.
The master criminal. The international gem dealer who talks. And he talks about freedom. How his life is some victory over the world. It is a joke. Look at us, huh? Look at us all. 5 of us sharing one room or sleeping in a fucking car. Everything about him is a lie. Everything isn't this. He is a mother's boy whose mother despises him. A boy who was never wanted by anyone or by anything except for them who shut it up and get it like me.
The other side is in Ada, Thailand. And Interpol are at loggerheads. Because the glasses are on the move. And their process for reviewing evidence is too complicated. The arrest was delayed several times. And now they're taking all the evidence from Ada. Years of hard work to hand over to someone else. It doesn't have to work out. 2 mornings later, Ada gets a phone call. Suddenly I feel refreshed. Got busted in Delhi, India, for the glasses. Turns out the guy who stole the passports and the money. Fear of glasses revenge. I reported it to the police. Gave up all his tracks. And glasses just drugged a tour group. Made everyone in the hotel lobby vomit. So he was caught red-handed. It just so happens. The arresting police. Exactly 7 years ago when he robbed the jewelry store. The cop who came to pick him up. In prison, Amy confessed to everything. Except for evidence that he killed in India. They ended up getting 10 years in prison. Bringing girlfriend home for the first time. His mother wasn't mocking her for being incapable. Which means there's something wrong with her character. Especially when I see a diamond ring on my daughter-in-law's finger. She even said don't give him children. Otherwise you will regret it. About her mother-in-law's perverse attitude. Glasses explains to Amy that he was abandoned when he was 11. You don't have to trust a bad woman. But the mother-in-law's words are like a thorn in May's heart. So the next day she came alone to her mother-in-law. I learned about the more inhuman side of Glasses. Glasses has a half-brother. Because they look so similar. So Glasses takes him with him wherever he goes. The Glasses once committed a felony. By the time the police arrived, he tricked his brother into assuming his identity first. And then take the money out of him. The younger brother was sentenced to 20 years. He was all alone. Amy was shocked. But here's what I didn't expect. At this time the Glasses have been found ex-wife. And fantasize about seeing each other again. Amy didn't know what to do. At this moment, she's on the streets of Paris. I saw Glasses and pictures of myself being wanted. What the hell is going on here? Turns out ever since they fled Thailand, Lena feared retribution. Every day forced Ada to find a way to arrest people. And Darby was afraid of her. You have to collect evidence without eating or drinking. Until Interpol took notice. Back to the hotel. May cursed Glasses. He said he was innocent. You're the one who should be wanted for murder. Glasses said you were responsible for all those deaths. Stop fooling yourself. There are only 2 options in front of you. Or you can run away with me. Or stay here and get caught. And you have a chance to atone for the dead. Sure enough, Amy went with him. From this day on, they started out in Paris and started out on the move. Spanning 6 countries. And changed the lives of countless families. The final destination is India. Now the Glasses are not just a tour guide. And a couple of helpers who drug him. 10 years is too short a sentence. But in India he's just a prison escapee. Interpol came up with evidence that he had mutilated the girl. It's a list of his perverted methods for each of his murders. And he didn't think he was wrong. And very proud to say, 7 years passed in a flash. Amy was released early from prison because she had cervical cancer. She came to see Glasses one last time before she left. But it's still a mistake. Glasses showed no repentance. Still said in cold blood. He will indeed be released in 3 years.
Et ici, je peux déjà te dire ce qui va se passer. Les Indiens vont tranquillement me relâcher. Et je serai libre à nouveau.
But no one expected it. He escaped from prison a month before his release. And he came back 22 days later and turned himself in. 10 extra years because he knew if he got out normal, he will be extradited to Thailand to die. And he adds 10 years to his sentence when he gets out again. The Thai case against him is long overdue. After his release in 1997, he was given a French passport. Become a free man. The news has just come out. Public opinion exploded. Not only did he not hide. Instead, he gave interviews to the media. To show the world that he's not guilty. What's more disgusting is that he came to Nepal 6 years later. He asked a reporter to take his picture for the paper. Because he was a long time ago. He killed a couple in Nepal. Finally, a fire burned the body. The police at the time didn't know it was him. I just let him go with a quick question. And as a mass murderer, there is nothing I like more than to be famous. So now he takes pictures for the paper. Just to let the cops know he's here. Sure enough, the police took him under control. Face all the media. He smiled the whole time. Obtrusive madness. He knows there's nothing the police can do about him. He was using someone else's identity when he committed the crime. He now cares
Only in the event that you charge me. Am I to be physically restrained? Or may I leave?
is the passport of Charles Sobragi. Just as a madman will perish. That he was in Nepal. That diplomat, Ada, found out about it. Called the police in Nepal right away. He said he had proof of the glasses. Make sure the cop keeps his glasses on hold. Turns out Amy gave up everything a long time ago. And Interpol made a copy of Amy's statement. It was handed over to Ada. Just as Glasses was about to leave. The police received Ada's facts in time. And stopped him. The film is based on a true story. It was based on Charles Sobrak. 2014 years. He was sentenced to life in prison by Nepal's Supreme Court. 2 appeals failed. 2010,000. The United Nations Commission on Human Rights argued that he did not receive a fair trial. So 4 years later, Nepal's Supreme Court found that plausible. Of course, human rights should be respected. So on top of life in prison, 20 years were added to him. After that, he never dared to appeal. They're still in custody today. Well, that's all for today's story. Follow me for more next time.